400,000 before Christ. Spear. A pole weapon consisting of a shaft, usually of wood, with a pointed head. 40,000 before Christ. Bow. A ranged weapon system consisting of an elastic launching device, bow, and long-shafted projectiles, arrows. 23,000 before Christ. Boomerang. A weapon used by some Aboriginal Australian peoples for hunting. 20,000 before Christ. Arrowheads. The usually sharpened and hardened tip of an arrow, which contributes majority of the projectile mass and is responsible for impacting and penetrating a target. 5,000 before Christ. Dagger. A knife with a very sharp point and usually two sharp edges, typically designed or capable of being used as a thrusting or stabbing weapon. 1,000 before Christ. Sword. A bladed melee weapon intended for cutting or thrusting that is longer than a knife or dagger, consisting of a long blade attached to a hilt. 500 before Christ. Trebuchet. A type of catapult that uses a long arm to throw a projectile. It was a common powerful siege engine until the advent of gunpowder. 500 before Christ. Ballista. Sometimes called bolt thrower, was an ancient missile weapon that launched either bolts or stones at a distant target. 200 before Christ. Crossbow. A ranged weapon using an elastic launching device similar to a bow. It consists of a bow-like assembly called a prod, mounted horizontally on a main frame called a tiller. 674. Greek fire. An incendiary weapon used by the Byzantine Empire. Used to set light to enemy ships, it consisted of a combustible compound emitted by a flame-throwing weapon. 800. Gunpowder, also known as the retronym black powder to distinguish it from modern smokeless powder, is the earliest known chemical explosive. Was invented in China as one of the four great inventions. 1200. Cannon. A large caliber gun classified as a type of artillery, and usually launches a projectile using explosive chemical propellant. 1300. Longbow. A type of bow that is tall, roughly equal to the height of the user, allowing the archer a fairly long draw. 1368. Matchlock. The first mechanism invented to facilitate the firing of a handheld firearm. The classic matchlock gun held a burning slow match in a clamp at the end of a small curved lever known as the serpentine. 1610. Flintlock. A general term for any firearm that uses a flint striking ignition mechanism. 1775. Submarine was built as a means of attaching explosive charges to ships in a harbor for use against Royal Navy vessels occupying North American harbors during the American Revolutionary War. 1836. Revolver. A repeating handgun that has at least one barrel and uses a revolving cylinder containing multiple chambers, each holding a single cartridge, for firing. 1851. Machine gun. A rapid-firing, rifled long-barrel auto-loading firearm designed for sustained direct fire with fully powered cartridges. 1914. Tank. An armored fighting vehicle intended as a primary offensive weapon in frontline ground combat. 1915. Chemical weapon. A specialized munition that uses chemicals formulated to inflict death or harm on humans. 1916. Fokker EI. First fighter aircraft to enter service with the Fliegertruppe of the Deutsches Heer in World War I. 1918. Thompson submachine gun. An American submachine gun invented during World War I. Being a signature weapon of various organized crime syndicates in the United States. 1936. AVS-36, a Soviet automatic rifle which saw service in the early years of World War II. It was among the early selective fire infantry rifles formally adopted for military service. 1945. Nuclear bomb. An explosive device that derives its destructive force from nuclear reactions, either fission or from a combination of fission and fusion reactions. 1947. AK-47. A gas-operated, assault rifle developed in the Soviet Union by Mikhail Kalashnikov in the aftermath of World War II. 1951. Hydrogen bomb. A second-generation nuclear weapon design. Its greater sophistication affords it vastly greater destructive power than first-generation atomic bombs. 1954. AR-10. A NATO battle rifle developed by Eugene Stoner in the late 1950s and manufactured by Armalite, then a division of the Fairchild Aircraft Corporation. 1960. M16. A family of military rifles adapted from the Armalite AR-15 rifle for the United States military. 1960. Laser. A device that emits light through a process of optical amplification based on the stimulated emission of electromagnetic radiation. 1974. Taser. A non-lethal electroshock weapon used to incapacitate targets via shocks that temporarily impair the target's physical function. 1977. Steyr AUG. An Austrian bullpup assault rifle chambered, designed in the 1960s by Steyr Daimler Puch. 1984. Desert Eagle. A semi-automatic pistol known for chambering the .50 Action Express, the largest center-fire cartridge of any magazine-fed, self-loading pistol. 1994. M4A1. Extensively used by the United States Armed Forces and is largely replacing the M16 rifle in United States Army. 1997. Anti-satellite laser. Space weapons designed to incapacitate or destroy satellites for strategic or tactical purposes. 2002. Drone. An aircraft without a human pilot on board, a component of an unmanned aircraft system which include a drone, a ground-based controller, and a system of communications between the two. 2007. Phaser rifle. Non-lethal laser dazzler developed by the Air Force Research Laboratory's Directed Energy Directorate, U.S. Department of Defense. 2010. XM-25. An airburst grenade launcher with programmable ammunition. Was fielded to soldiers serving in the war in Afghanistan in 2010. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe and click the bell icon to get new video updates.